A Rasa Ride Sharing Company arasa.ca என்ற இணையதளத்துக்கு சென்று The A Rasa Drivers ஆப்பினை டவுன்லோட் செய்து டிரைவர்ஸாக வேலை வாய்ப்பை பெறுங்கள். மாதாந்தம் $4000 வரை சம்பாதியுங்கள். வணிக நிறுவனங்கள் A Rasa இணையதளத்தின் மூலம் மளிகை பொருட்கள் மற்றும் உணவுப் பொருட்களை விற்பதோடு வாடிக்கையாளர்களுக்கு டெலிவரி செய்யலாம். தமிழில் தகவல்களை அறியாளையுங்கள். GTA பற்றி 40 ஆண்டுகள் அறிந்து கொண்டவரும் வீடு விற்பனை துறை ஊடாக மக்களால் அறியப்பட்டவருமான சிவா பிள்ளை. 416-854-0005. Taxi broker licensed by City of Toronto.
Yeah. Good morning, team. We are meeting again Saturday morning. Very nice weather. We are meeting again May 14th. Okay, as usual, today I sent the message for you guys. Talk about the buyers, type of buyers and buyer presentation. The reason I sent that message today is the market is changing to sellers market to middle market, not buyers market. Still is the market is changing. We all know that, but market is changing it. Okay, as usual, before we go that one, we start with our $1 million question and few discussion. and few agents sent me the questions and they said they like to hear the answer for the question very beginning. Then I can go with the question, start with the question first. The many agents concerned as this situation, the market is changing. What we can do? Are we going to make the money like last 2 years, whatever we did? My answer is, okay, who we are. First, we have to think who we are. We are service peoples. For example, we are one of the one of the fortunate industry. First, human being, everybody need food. The food industry, restaurants and the food industry, always you can see busy. Any food industry you go, you can go, even Sri Lankan regular Tamil stores to major chain stores. Wherever you go, sometimes waiting time is 1 hour and 2 hours waiting time. That's the way we get in the restaurant business. Even though after pandemic time was closed and now it's back to line up and waiting. Second, you can say the medical industry. Of course, everybody gets sick and we have to go to the hospitals and get the medications. And next to the hospital industry, food industry and hospital industry, we can say equal or more or less. Next to those ones, we can name it other industries, but real estate industry also one of the industry never fails, guys. Never fails. As a service people, we are service people. Investor side, price go up and down. May the paper money can change. Paper money can change for the real estate industry, investor side. But the service people, everybody need a house. Either they want to buy it or sell it. Some people want to buy more houses, or else some people cannot afford and sell it, and they need a lease. Our industry never going to fail. Okay, in that case, we don't need to worry anything. Maybe you can motivate yourself. Look, Kannan always send every month how many statistics data from Toronto Real Estate Board for you guys. How many properties are moving hands? Moving hands is very important. Doesn't matter the price, how much the price are moving. Maybe last year you may sell it for 1.4 million. Today you want to sell for 1.1 million. Doesn't matter. I started real estate. I was selling only 200,000 worth of properties in bungalows in the Scarborough area. We made money too that time. All right. The market changes just there, but doesn't mean it's going to kill our income. If our income, we're going to make the income. Maybe the income might fluctuate. That's a market. We cannot control the market. One of the agents told me that he is going vacation because the market is low. I said that's one of the major mistake you can do at this time. Month of May, as a realtor, if you go vacation, how can you going to make money? Month of May is the best month. Month of August you could go. Month of January you could go. But that's what I told him. Whoever in the vacation, I'm not blaming them. Nothing is wrong. But same time, this is the time we make money. This is the time. Whatever the change is going to happen, we cannot control. We are not running the government. Even government cannot control. Even the dispute going on, because you may see the newspaper, Bank of Canada versus government. The Bank of Canada wanted to be independent, and the government started to control Bank of Canada since 1960. Now, conservatives saying different things. Now, the election campaign, and you can see certain things now. Not even government can control the Bank of Canada's interest rate changes. This is the part of the life. They are going to increase the interest rate, yes, but they are going to increase the interest rate only very few, another 0.5%. That's going to happen, but our income not going to do anything because we are service peoples. We are not putting the money and getting the money back. In that case, we don't need to worry. Okay, I have $1 million question. How are you going to make money? Your daily schedule, daily preparation. That's the only one going to give you money for the real estate industry. Anyway, I always repeat that one. Make a plan for yourself. Full-timers, part-timers, doesn't matter. Wake up time and what you are going to do, everyday basis. How many hours you're going to do exercise? How many hours you're going to watch the marketing side, prospecting. That's the only way you can see more people and get the highest money. Okay, this is the basic way of starting up today, and the questions we have. Few questions. If you have any questions, stop me and ask me. I have a few questions today. So some agents send me the question and they request me to go first rather than work with the buyer. I'm going to go with the questions first. The first question: the client bought the commercial property last year. It's a store and apartment. They need to sell, and they after the clients bought the property, they renovated the store as a restaurant business, how can I sell the property? The question is, they bought the store and apartment is a commercial residential mixed property, and the store they renovated as a restaurant, and the restaurant is running right now. Then they want to list it and sell it. What are the process? They asking me. She asking me. Okay. What we have to look at here, the listing going to be is a commercial residential building for apartment and the commercial. The commercials coming with business. That means 3 categories going to be there in that particular listing. One sale of business, one commercial, other one is residential apartment. The first thing to do, the real estate salesperson call the appraiser and get the appraised value, separate the value for the apartment value, residential apartment value, and commercial unit value, as well as the sale of business value. That's very important. When you list the property, you're going to have just one listing because only one unit, one property. But the buying agent definitely will ask you, what is the value? What is the percentage? What is the square foot of the commercial? What is the value of the commercial? What is the value of the residential? What is the value of the sale of business? Okay, when you list the property, there are a few things going to happen. We watch it here. Okay, when buyer buy, the land transfer tax is going to be only for the property value, not for the sale of business. GST part going to be sale of business as well as a commercial. There are tricky things are here, but when you are listing the property, please learn to understand your listing is going to be 3 categories. Residential apartment categories, that's the regular residential. And the commercial is going to be applicable under the commercial category, HSC involved, and the sale of business. The listing must go under the commercial, not under the freehold. Then you have to prepare the listing under the commercial, and under the broker command, you have to mark sale of business, commercial, and the residential. What are the values you are putting it? You don't need to put in the listing. The buyer agent may ask you. Buyer agent may do his own appraisal and get the different values. But the HSC part, you had to explain the seller. You had to list it under the commercial because of the HSC is one of the side. When you get the offer, you can get the forms 500, form 500, and see the clauses for the sale of business side. Sale of business. Are you giving the name of the sale of business? What are the charters are in the sale of business category? And any employees work there over 1 year, or any employees how are you going to transfer the employees? You have to have the knowledge of the salesperson who is listing the property. Other than that one, commercial and the residential is only for values. Go to the lawyers for the listing side. Go give it to the lawyer. Ask them specifically, do we have experience for the commercial? Do we have experience for the sale of business, as well as for the residential apartment? And who is responsible for the HST? The buyer is responsible for the HST. If the buyer is a non-resident, again, if you have a listing agent, you have to be careful on this side. If your buyer is a non-resident, the HST can shift to the seller's lawyer. In that case, you have to be careful when you get the listing. You have to ask question when you get the listing, who is the buyer, and that's all. Nothing else serious. Is you can list the property with. You can go to the listing as the regular listing and differentiate all 3 in your broker command. Okay. The next question: clients bought the house, listed the condo for sale, but not much showing activities. What can I do? Clients are very nervous. Fahim, you sent me this question. You asked me this question yesterday. What we had to do? Okay, for example, just this is a very common thing. Market changes. We are experiencing many different sites. In this case, this specific question: what are the sales techniques we can use to sell the condo faster? That's the way I am interpreting this question. Today's market, okay, yes, they already bought the house. I'm going to give you 2 answers now. First answer is how to sell the condo faster. Second answer, as a salesperson, how we can close the deal. how we can close the deal. Okay. Condo, sale for the condo. For example, assume there's a building. There are 500 units are there. The client wanted to buy. Client doesn't matter. The client not specifically for 18th unit or 22nd unit or 19th unit. Who is the one taking the clients inside? The salesperson. Then who is the one controlling the deal for the condos? Mostly the salesperson, not the regular houses. Clients walk around and drive around and see, I like this house, I like that house. But the condo is a building only. Once you go into the building, which floor you're going to buy is controlled by the salesperson. In that case, who you have to treat? It's a salesperson. How are you going to treat the salesperson? Giving more commission. We work for commission, and rather than 2.5% commission, giving 3% commission. If you give 3% commission, when he picked that particular unit for the condo, he may pick your condo because of the commission. That's one of the major part for the condo side. Increase the commission. Second thing I told you about. Second thing, condo sales faster. Vacant. If the condo, the people are leaving the condo, reduce the sales activities. If the condo is vacant and plus condo, not much furniture, some people stage the furniture, stage the condos. I am not against that one, but vacant condos, hardwood flooring or laminate flooring, vacant and a higher commission. These are the best selling part for the condos. If the condo doesn't sell, make the condo vacant, make sure the condo having a minimum laminate flooring and give instead of 2.5, 3% commission, the condo will sell faster. And the next question, the next way, the client already bought the house. Then as a salesperson, we work for commission. We had to close a transaction. What do you have to do? Even the condo doesn't sell, go to the private lender. Go to the private lender and pull the money, maximum, whatever money you can pull, and use that money and use it as a down payment for the house. They already give the deposit and close a transaction. And the condo, every properties you list going to sell. How far is going to sell based on the location? How fast is going to sell based on the condition and the terms and condition of the condition and other factors are in the condo. But the closing the transaction, again, I told you already how to sell the condo faster. Vacant, increase the commission, and minimum laminate flooring. No furniture is much better, or else you can stage. And if the condo doesn't sell, pull the equity out from the condo and use that down payment as use that money as a down payment and close the transaction, whichever he give the deposit. Okay. Okay, the next question. Client bought the property in April, closing coming in mid-June. Appraised value came $180,000 low. How to handle this situation? Can I negotiate with the seller? Yes, these thing is not new, but at the same time, vice versa. 2000, whatever the properties we bought, before we closed the transaction, property value went up 100,000, 200,000 more. Even after close the transaction, so many people came and lined up with our private company. I bought a property for 800,000. Now it's worth for 1.2 million. Can I borrow some money? Okay, but this is vice versa. Market is always go up and down. It's a clock, always go up and down. The same thing happening right now. After we have a contract with the purchase sale agreement, contract, seller doesn't need to reduce the price. You can ask the seller, you can explain the seller because seller sold it for the higher price. In that case, sellers might reduce the price, but not necessarily reduce the price. Depends on the seller. He can reduce the price, but no reason to reduce the price. But at the same time, your client is supposed to get the money from different sources, and he can do something. He can try different banks. Appraisal companies are different. Different banks appraisal are going with the different values sometimes because based on the guideline of the bank, whatever the bank is doing the appraisal. For example, B lenders having a strict guidelines for the appraisal companies to go for different areas. They had to follow the lender's guideline. Nobody is controlling the appraised value. Appraised value only based on the person who doing the appraisal. You cannot sue them if they come with a low appraised value. That's his opinion value based on the fair market comparison as well as a cost base. And the time adjustment for the properties. Then you can try different companies, different banks. even though some banks maybe 1 or 2%, sorry, 0.2, 0.3% interest higher, sometimes the appraisal value, they can match up the appraisal value, and they may ask for the 25% down payment. There are so many things can possible, and some banks giving 15% down payment, 15% down payment, another 5%, 10% from the own secondary financing. Try those kind of ways, but the seller can reduce the price. Yes, you can try, but not legally. You go and sue the seller and saying that one, can you reduce the price because the price value went down? No, that's not going to change, because when the price went up, nobody pays some money to the builder or the seller. In that case, we cannot expect sellers has to reduce the price. Okay. Okay. Next question. I gave the offer. I got this question last night. I gave the offer. Irrevocable time expired. After 2 days, the listing agent changed the dates and gave me the sign back. Is it valid? Can I accept the offer? This question is really a technical question. As a broker record in my side, if you give the offer and the revocable time expired and the agent didn't get back to you, the offer is technically offer death. But at the same time, before the expiry date, the listing agent come and say, the question again, he gave the offer, his client gave the offer to the property, and the irrevocable time, maybe day before yesterday at midnight, the listing agent never get back to him until yesterday. And after the irrevocable time and everything, he said, now he's going to cross it out the time and sending back that same offer. Our agent's question, my offer is expired already. My offer is technically dead. Can he do that one? My answer is yes. After irrevocable time, if the seller didn't cross out to change it as a buyer's and change irrevocable time, just offer death. But we don't know. Maybe the seller already did. The listing agent is keeping in his hand. If the seller after change it, the listing agent is keeping his hand and send it to the next day or day after, that doesn't mean after the seller is not liable. The offer is valid. At the same time, who we are salespeople. As long as technically the offer is valid, I told him, yes, arguable. This question is a good law question. We can argue both sides, but what do you want to argue in our side, in our way? We want to accept it. I told him, as long as they signed the seller sign it before, cross it out and sign it before the revocable time. In that case, offer is valid. Accept the offer and pay the deposit and make a sales rather than giving too much debates. Okay, this is my answer for him. Answer for him yesterday's situation, but this is a good debate topic to arguable topic for the lawyer side. But we are real estate agent. As long as the seller change the revocable time to other 2 days, just accept and go. Another question came 2 days ago. My client bought the cottage. Why the bank mostly refuse or demand high down payments for the cottages? Second thing, what is the difference between a septic versus holding tank? If the property comes with a holding tank, can I get the mortgage? Okay, the cottage, I'll take another class, one full class for the cottage. What do you have to look at the cottage? What do you have to when you buying the cottage? What do you have to look at it? The water well, tube well, and water supply, electricity supply, voltage 60 volt, 100 volt supply and the water system and sewer system, septic and holding tank. But I want to answer the question, only direct question of his side. Just the banks mostly refuse or asking more down payment because of the cottage is near to the water. When they're near to the water, natural disasters can easily happen. The water levels goes up. Nobody control it for the nature. In the water level goes up, close to the waterfront cottages mostly can come. Can destroy or damage the houses. In that case, the banks are very conservative for that side. Plus, the cottages are mostly older ones. In that case, they're looking for the more down payment. and more down payment categories, and these are investment properties for sure. Nobody live there. Most of the time, the properties are vacant properties. Even though you go there and live there for the once in a while summertime, but the other times are vacant. The insurance we had to get for the vacant insurance, but the banks discourage, not discourage, or banks have enough regular mortgages. In that case, they don't want to give the mortgages to the cottages, so they ask higher down payment. Is a normal thing. If somebody buying the cottage, they are buying for luxury item. In that case, they had to come up with at least 35% down payment. The next question is a septic system as well as a holding tank. Septic system is a normal system. Not all the houses are coming with the municipal drainage system. Only the cities we have that one. If we go out from the city, all the houses are septic system. Septic system means what are the water waste water come out from the washroom, kitchen, and everything is hauled in the tanks and go to the field. Septic bed going to be there, and the water go out. That's one they consider as a regular system. Banks doesn't care. But a holding tank, instead of the septic tank, for example, the property is small, the property land is small, they don't have enough bed. Septic tank come with a bed. If they don't have enough space for the septic bed, that's mean what they're going to do. They have a holding tank. Holding tank mean all the wastewater and wastewater that include the washroom and the kitchen wastewater, not the drainage water, but other kitchen and washroom wastage is go to the tank. Then what they have to do? The tank is a tank. When the tank is filled, there's a meter of the tank. And when it's come to a certain level, they had to come and clean it out every time when the tank is getting certain level or certain dates, because the tank is, if it is the dirts in the tank, we can't leave it too long. That's start to get some smell and everything. Then in that case, certain days they had to come and remove. Only reason they put the holding tank rather than the septic tank, the size of the land. In this case, if it is come with the holding tank, as for my knowledge, guys, our knowledge are limited. As for my knowledge, banks not going to give the mortgages. I'm using the word bank. Some private companies might take a chance. Banks not give the mortgage at all. Even though you put 75% down payment, they don't want to touch it if it's a holding tank properties. Septic tank is normal. They don't care. This question based on the holding tank and septic tank, watch it out, that one. If you are dealing with the property, you should know what you are exactly looking for before you work with the clients. Okay, there's a question coming up from Mohan Nadaraj. Good morning, Selva. Client want to buy a house, but Mohan, can you read your question? Can you come out and read the question, please?
Good morning, Solana.
Morning, Mohan.
Morning. I don't want to interrupt your.
No. The questions are, I'm coming here to answer the questions and interact each other. It's not that I want to finish it and go something. Go ahead.
I already answered this question, but just clearing it. Client living here, she's a nurse. She can qualify up to 700,000, but she want to buy something, and you have to have at least 9, right? What she's looking for, 9 or million. So she has a mom who works in UK. She's a UK resident. And she has money and she wants to come with her on the title. So I said there's a foreign buyer tax involved when she comes. So how does this work? Is it going to be a 50-50 when the mom is UK resident?
It's a very good question at very good time, Mohan. Yes, foreign tax credit, even though the next person come only just 1%, no? Still they had to pay for the full at today's standard in 15% foreign tax credit.
It's 20% now, right?
Full amount. But even though the mother come 50-50 or mother come only just 1%, they had to pay for, at today's standard still 15% foreign tax credit, they had to pay for it.
But it's 20% now, right? 15 to 20.
It's not changed yet, Mohan. Under the new budget, they are doing one by one. Assignment changes already came from May 7. And as for my knowledge at this time, they're changing from January 1st for the 20%.
So even though resident involved from elsewhere with the current citizen here,
yes,
must pay the full foreign buyer tax.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. I had a feeling it was 50-50, but okay.
No more. Even honestly saying, before I go further to read those one, I thought maybe one of the buyer only 1% and 99% Canadian residents. Then I was involved this one for a few months ago. Then I talked to a few other lawyers and the tax act too, Ontario guidelines. I'm pretty sure even though come with the one single person, they had to pay for the full foreign tax.
Wow. Okay. Good to know. Thanks, Silvana.
When you talk about the foreign buyer, I involved yesterday one of the foreign buyers capital gain. That's I can share it. It's a knowledge sharing for the meetings. If the foreign buyer sell the property, the capital gain part, buying price, selling price, any cost involved, Revenue Canada doesn't care. Buying price and selling price, based on that one, 28% go as a capital gain. Even though they pay the agent's commission and all this one, they have to apply and get it back later date. The pay for the full the capital gain taxes too. Under the foreigners, CRA kind of tricky. CRA kind of strict. Thanks for the question, Mohan. Okay, the next question I have. That's all the questions I have, guys. I have few things to share for the knowledge building. That's after the meeting. That's after the meeting. We can do it. Now we go with the buyer side. All right. The reason I pick buyer as a today's as a buyer side, because the market is a little bit changing. Then we have to work with the buyer. Then only we can make more money. Still, sellers will come to us. That's not a question, but agents who are waiting to sell for the buyer side, this is the right time to buyer. Okay, then we are going to work. We are going to talk today. The message I sent. I'm going to repeat that one today. Work with a different kind of buyers. The message I sent. Work with a different kind of buyers in today's market. We want to talk about the today's market condition. I don't want to go through whatever I learned for late 90s. I want to talk about today's market condition plus buyer agency agreement and versus customer service agreement. And question answers. Okay. Today we're going to talk about the buyer, different kind of buyers and how to handle the buyers in today's market. Okay. When it's come to the buyer, our business start with the prospecting. We want to meet the peoples, then only we can buy and sell. Then the first thing in our business is a prospecting. Okay, when we do the prospecting, buyer prospecting is more important. When we do the prospecting, we need to know who we going to prospect and what we going to prospect. For example, who we going to prospect, that's the one is different kind of buyers. Then we're going to discuss first the type of buyers or type of buyers. What are the type of buyers we going to deal for our industry and this standard, and buyers age group and the communication method, and what kind of marketing is going to work for the buyers in our market area, in our target. And the next one, we're going to talk about the buyer's perspective and where are we going to find the buyers and marketing methods. What are the marketing methods we're going to use it? And the next one, the first meeting with the buyer. When we meet the buyer first time after marketing and everything, when we meet the buyer first time, what we had to watch before buyer hire us, what kind of buyers we going to get, though, and educating the buyer and those kind of things. First, we're going to talk about. There's a question is here. I will come to the question at around 9:45. Around 10:45. Because I started already started with the topic right now. Okay, the buyer perspective is important. Before the buyer perspective, we're going to talk about type of buyers we going to deal with. Type of buyers. We start from our regular common sense. First time buyer. Under the first time buyer, we're going to divide as two categories. That's what bank looking for. First time buyer is not everybody are first time buyers. If you don't have a house, you come as the first time buyer under the government regulations. Under the mortgage qualification and a few things, are you newcomer to Canada? If you are newcomer to Canada, this is a different regulation. And the first time buyer who is living in Canada for 25 years, and he's a first time buyer, after 25 years, he save up only 5% or 8% or less than 10% money. There are categories are different when the bank's looking for the buyer side. And if we are looking for the first-time buyer who come to Canada within 3 years' time, 4 years' time, and they want to buy a house up to 5 years, as per my knowledge, I believe it's a newcomer to Canada. Canada rules are there; they are very flexible. And how are you going to? I'm talking about the prospecting side, okay? Kind of buyers I'm talking because of the how we're going to prospect those people. Where are we going to find those people? That's our lesson today. Okay, for example, newcomers to Canada. Newcomers to Canada, definitely they are one of the blood of this economy. They are youngsters. No need to be only 18 years. They are late 20s or early 30s, coming with education, coming with a good job. When they come, they start to work and making money, $80,000 to $100,000 money, and the bank wanted to look for them. Bank wanted to look for those kind of buyers, even though with the lower down payment, bank pass it through because they are first-time buyers. They are not luxury guys. They don't want a big land in the house. They want to live. The first economical property they're going to buy, plus the income high, they are newcomers, easy to qualify. We are going to find those kind of buyers. That's a prospecting side. You have to think about it right now. Second thing, the regular buyers who are living in Canada for 20 years. They save up some money, just a little bit hard buyers, but at the same time, they are desperate to buy. Their motivation is very high to buy right now because they feel like, oh, everybody came to Canada, same as me. But at the same time, I missed the chance. I missed the chance. In that case, where are you going to find those buyers? All the discussion are prospecting. Where the buyers are living? The rental apartments. Then where are you going to do your marketing? In the rental apartment. How are you going to do the marketing, prospecting in the rental apartment? Go and stand there in the rental apartment. Think about it. Go and stand there in the rental apartment. Fridays evening, Saturdays, and give your flyers out and arrange the meeting. Arrange some free meetings near to the rental apartments. Buyers seminars. There are lots of ideas you have to come to your mind. How you can do it? How I do it? Send the flyers. Send the flyers to the rental apartment. There are seat in Parliament, Venezuelan Parliament, or Texas Court, Markham and Eglinton. You can find which community live there, different area, different community live there, which community live there, which language you're going to write the flyers. This is all your creative side. And where they like the property, yes, they already miss it for 25 years. Easy life, where they can come, which lifestyle they want it. Learn those one and do your prospecting based on that side. First-time buyers who new to Canada, where are you going to find them? Immigration lawyers is one of the best way to do. Immigration lawyers, and I think I mentioned one day I went and meet one of the client in the Sheraton Hotel in the morning 8 o'clock. So many agents were standing there because that time was the buyers came to Canada and living in the hotel and looking for the properties. I was shocked, as even though I've been in the real estate industry many years, I never did those kind of sale. And many real estate sales people standing there in the hotel lobby, the business court to find the clients. Prospecting is you. You can't stay home and think I don't have a clients. The prospecting method, I let you think the different kind of buyers. How do you do the prospecting side? And the second, I said first newcomers to Canada. Second thing, first-time buyers who living in Canada 20-25 years. Third, the regular people, sellers want to sell it and buy it. That's a regular farming for the low-end properties, not the high-end properties. Townhouses, complex, townhouse complex, condos, or those kind of areas. They sell it and buying the bigger property. Those are the buyers. They are second-time buyers. Second-time buyers is better because we have double ending transaction. You can list the property and they buy the property. If they list the property and sold the property, definitely they had to buy. If they go and buy the property, definitely they had to sell. It's a win and win game both sides. If you touch them, they are buyers, but that's come from listing too. What kind of marketing we going to do to get those kind of buyers? Next, investment. Today, every single one wanted to buy a property and do the investment. In that case, they know the real estate rich. Today's wealth. Today's wealth in Toronto. What kind of wealth today? Real estate wealth. Even especially our community or anybody you can see, everybody is rich with the real estate rich. Two different classes right now. Only we have property or you don't have property. That's the kind of bigger two different middle class people became as a two classes, with property and without property. With property, you have a million at least. With 2 houses, 3 houses, your asset value is going up. In that case, investment property, you have to focus investment property. When you focus on investment property, are you going to do the prospecting? What you had to learn? You had to learn different areas. You had to learn different areas where the builders are building it. What is the property coming up? What is the municipality is doing it? What municipality is doing it? I remember I talked about 3 years ago about Hamilton, municipality of Hamilton doing some internal transportation. Now you can see the Hamilton area. The price went up in Hamilton. Not only that one, even our office agents, they are buying for themselves, going to different provinces, and the different provinces is not my target today because we want to make money. The commission we can get in Ontario mostly. Anyway, investment properties are one side, and what you had to learn in the investment properties, you had to know where is the builders are building it. Are they sharing the commission? People are buying Ottawa, Smith Falls, Blue Mountain, Belleville. We can see it, how many deals are going through. But if you are listening this one, what is your homework? Just to take the car and go out and look for the builders and ask the commission and invest in properties. After that one, come do the seminar. How are you going to prospect the people, get the people? We'll talk about that one. But we have to find the properties where the investment properties are. Then we have to prospect the people who have properties. Very, very easy today. Who owned the property 2 years ago, they have equity, 400, 500,000 equity. They can simply refinance and get the money and buy other property. That's the best way to do. Why you want to miss it? Investment properties are important, but get the knowledge. Which area is going to go higher? Where is the new development going? 427 North is finish it or not finish it. New highway is doing it now. There are areas, the new development, where the new highways are going to be. Where is the builder going to build? Get that one and tell your clients to refinance the houses and get the money and buy other one. That's the one, that's one kind of buyers. That's one kind of buyers you can find. And multiplex. And one of the agents sent me the message about the multiplex for the versus commercial. I will come to the end. I don't want to disturb here right now. There are people from the foreign investors. Multiplex is no more than 6plex is not foreign. No foreign buy tax. No foreign buyers tax. Rather than when somebody come and buy Toronto, 1.2 million for the apartment building and paying the foreign tax credit, sell it for $2 million, 15 units product in Zania or London, Ontario, different areas. And you make money, they make money, they are happy. They don't need to pay for the foreign tax credit. They are buyers. Even though you have if you have friends and families and everything in a different country, especially in Europe, you arrange if you have a wedding, you go to Europe. If you have a parties, you go to Europe. Same thing, your relatives, friends, and everybody, arrange the sales meet, arrange the meeting, get together, go there and give you ideas. Tell them to invest the money in Canada. Tell them to buy multiplex, especially the people in Germany, Switzerland, England, France. They have lots and lots of cash, but they don't have investment like Canada and US. Just to go there and get the buyers. Get the buyers is the right time. Everybody like to invest the money in Canada. Why you are waiting with the license? Just to go there and get enough information and go and have meetings in outside the countries. You will get the clients for sure. The clients, if you go to one time, I don't know if you have more relatives, friends in Switzerland or Germany, go there and gather 100 people, 200 people. Definitely you have 3%. 3% is the statistics proven. Statistics. 100 people come, you get 3 buyers for sure, maybe more, but minimum 3. That's a statistic showing. Get out and do the prospecting for the buyer prospecting. I'm talking about now buyer prospecting. What kind of buyers you are looking for it? That's the one we are in right now. Okay, we'll come back to the one. As the next one is a farmland. How many people want to invest the money in the land, guys? How many people want to invest the money in land? They have enough money, they're sitting there. Just do your research. Look at the MLS, the different board MLS and everything, and get 100 acres, 200 acres farmland, and send the email to the people who have money. Either who have money, the business people have money, and professionals have money. Send it out. people are interested. All spend the money in the advertisement, your daily Facebook advertisement and everything, rather than sort of asking and a different kind of ad. Send this kind of advertisement. Then you have a client. Then what I'm talking right now, type of buyers are varies. First, you have to identify the type of buyers. After you identify the type of buyers, before you start a prospect, and buyers age group. Buyers age group is important. Method of marketing. When you do the marketing, method of marketing, who is looking for, what kind of people are looking for Instagram? What age group people is looking for the Facebook and social medias? What age group of people like to come to the meeting and sit down and drink coffee and do? And what kind of people like the text messages? What kind of age group people and educated level like email correspondent? Who you like to call for the religious meeting, for example? That's kind of which age group buyers come to the religious meeting and sit down. You can find the clients in the religious meetings, religious places, for example, temples. If you are a participant in the temples, ask the priest and after the temple hours, just put the flyers and call them. Churches, after the prayers end, you can have the meeting in the church. I know my agents did. I was there too many times for the churches. And different places you advertisement. And who is coming, what age group is coming is important. For example, why I said the age group. For example, youngsters, what they buy, what product they buy. Next one is the product. But what age group peoples is an aggressive 20 years kid. They don't have money, but they are aggressive to buy. But they buy pre-construction condos. They just put some money, what are the money from their money or parents' money or part-time money or co-program, whatever they made, and they invest for the down payment. When the condo going to be in 5 years' time, where are you going to find them? They are the youngsters. What they look for, Instagram and different their interest. That's you have to find. And the database, you have to start the database. The database you send out to them. Where is a new one coming? The youngsters type of property suit for them is a pre-construction. And if you go further, for example, married couple. Okay, when the couple get married, they don't want to live with their parents' house. They really want to live where? The condo. Especially they like to live in the condo and they want to go out and have fun in the bars and clubs and the restaurants and everything. They want to have a life. And then what are you going to do? If somebody is getting married or anything, what's the advertisement going to be? Buy a condo. You have to be smart. The people's late 20s and early 30s, they buy the condos. And when they move into, when they're going to have a baby, they really want to move into the house. They can't afford the house. And where are they going to move into? Townhouses. While they are in the condo, tell them to book for the townhouse with the builders. Or else they sell the condo and buy the condo. I'm talking about before they go to the prospecting, we want to know the type of peoples, what kind of method we are going to work on it. For example, text messages. Late 20s and early 30s, they like the text message and emails than regular phone call. If you phone call, they don't like a phone call. They don't want to answer the phone call. They ignore the phone call. But if you send the text messages or emails, definitely you'll get the answer. Email answering within 1 hour is a prestige. But they don't want to leave it more than 1 hour. In that case, they're putting themselves down for the emails. In that case, they will answer you. You know, the moral of the youngsters' mentalities. Find those ones. And the middle-aged group peoples, yes, middle-aged group people, I talk about mid-40s peoples, they are in both sides. But they work with the realtors and go around and look around the houses. They sell their townhouses and move in the houses. And again, people already live in the house. They want to go to the luxury houses. They want to go in the luxury houses with more space. The first time when they buy they're looking for the apartment to rent out and collect money. And after a certain age, they want to live in the basement as a luxury basement and enjoy based on their financial side, based on the age group, age side and everything. And we had to learn what type of buyers are there, what kind of properties are there. Based on that one, we're going to start our buyer perspective. When I talk about the buyer perspective, we're going to say the marketing method. Okay, again, where are you going to find the buyers? That's going to be under the marketing method. As I said first, newcomers to Canada, Newcomers to Canada, go to the immigrations, go to the hotels, go to the immigration lawyers database. If somebody works in the immigration lawyers database and everything, go there and find there. And the buyers who are living in 25 years, they don't have a house, they definitely live in the apartment buildings we know where the apartments are. Dixie and Bloor, downtown, Gerard Street, Vella Street, Scarborough, we know that Don Mills, Don't Mills and Eglinton, Markham and Eglinton, Bexley Court, you know the places where they live. Based on their marketing area, go there and find them. Marketing methods, what kind of marketing methods you had to use it? For example, every single one, you had to have a database. That database there, you have to group the peoples based on the age group. That's the reason I started with the age group of the peoples and the type of the property. Based on the age group, first you get the database. Start the database first, and you can filter it later on. You must have the database. If you don't have a database, no point of giving the license. You must have it at today's standard, today's technology standard. Okay, you don't have to pay for the expensive database program. Just a regular Gmail, make as a group. One group, you can go 250 people as a regular group. If you don't know how to do a Gmail, sit down in front of the computer. Everything is window version. Google, split the screen and go to the Google and see how to create the database how to make the group in the Gmail. This will tell you in 10 minutes, 15 minutes time. You do yourself. Don't ask anybody. If you do yourself, you learn. It takes the difference between the people who know the computer and doesn't have much knowledge of the computer takes only time difference. Everybody can simply do it. Okay, database, you should have it. You should have a database, and the database follow-up is important, especially for the condos. They're releasing the condos. You have to send out the database that's the only way you can find out. The bulk marketing, you can simply one click. This can reach many people, especially the youngsters. Tell them, put $2,000 to $5,000 initial payment and buy the condo. That works, guys. Second thing, community ties. Community ties are important. For example, if we are a community person, we are working with our local community. So many events are happening. Why you want to cross your hand and sit there? Get involved. The communities and show yourself as a realtor. Give something new. When you meet somebody, give something new about the real estate industry. If somebody talk negative about the market, talk positive about the market. Tell them market might change. That's going to happen. For the marketing ideas, marketing method, first database, second thing community ties. Third one, of course, the referrals. Referrals, you can ask anybody. You can ask referrals. For example, the best people to ask referral, your first circle. That's been your brother, sister, uncle, auntie, very good friends. Don't tell them to buy the product. If they tell them to buy the unit, buy the product, they may doesn't want to do it right away, have 100%. But if you ask them referrals, they love to do it because they are your relatives, they are your friends. They like to help you. But the referring somebody is easy. One day refer somebody, give them 5%, 10%, 15% part of the money you make to make them happy. You get more and more referrals. Referrals are important. Referrals go for close circle. And even Mike Perry said one day, he gave out more cards to the doctor office, barber salon, doctor office and dental office, pharmacies and everywhere. He said, definitely even taxi driver. When you travel the taxi, just give them. You never know. You have a chance to get it. Ask everybody, but the most referrals you can get from the first circle of the peoples. And advertisement, of course, advertisements works and expensive, but advertisement always work. And regular farming is always help, guys. Regular farming, you're going to get when you do the regular farming, go for the low-end properties. Don't for the high-end properties. Go for the low-end properties, townhouse complex, maintenance fees, townhouses. Those are the complex. It's good. You can sell it and buy. Get the buyers from those areas. Okay. After that one, we're going to talk about the first meeting of the buyer. The buyer can come from your referral source. Buyer can come from the advertisement. Can be anything. Buyer can come, or else your long-standing friend, doesn't matter. The first meeting, the buyer call you, even though you are close relatives, when they call you, never go to the house. The first meeting, what I can say, even though you're known peoples, they are sitting and calling you, for the to buy a property, investment properties, anything. Make it an official meeting. Tell them to come to the office. When they dress up and come to the office, that's the first filtering system you're going to use. If somebody say, I want to buy a property, they want to hire you. Before they hire you, what you had to do? You had to hire them back. Are they right peoples? Are the right peoples you're going to work with them? Or just they want to waste the time? If they, for example, somebody, you're a relative person anyway, they said, I want to buy an investment condo, Selva, you just come. Okay, but if you are going to their house, they don't do any work. They even just wake up late and waiting for you. And when you go there, they will say, can you wait 5 minutes? And one by one, come in the house and sit down. You don't want that. Tell them to come to the office, or else tell them to come to the outside. The first filtering system you have to give them. Then when they come in, meet them outside. When they meet outside, what is your target? You are going for a business, then you cannot go casual. You had to respect yourself and go with a at least semi-official, semi-formal, at least go for semi-formal, to identify yourself as you come for the business purpose, rather than talking about your background story and grammar stories. Just talk about the business stories. Okay, but you can talk casual. Casual conversation is always good to develop the friendship, but you don't forget you going for the business meeting. At that business meeting, you have to keep it in your mind, three things in your head. You have to keep it in the point system. You have to talk to them, and you have to value the point system. The point system, you're going to make it three categories as the buyer's motivation, ability, and urgency. How urgent they want to buy, how much ability, how much money and the credit they have, how they are motivated. Those three are very, very important. Motivation, ability, and urgency. You have to rate 1 to 10 in your mind the abilities. Are they have money, or they're going to borrow money from somebody else, or sister and brother giving the money and they're dreaming it, or they have money, what is the credit score, and how urgent they want to buy something to move in. What are the motivation they are buying this one? That's a point system you have to have in your head. And you get the first meeting definitely outside the place, and you must have the notepad, the phone message, or regular diaries. Avoid the phone is very important. When you meet anybody, guys, either buyer or seller or your clients, anytime, avoid the phone. I know we have the fashion to put it in the phone as a notepad, as a messages and everything. Nobody like the phones these days. Everybody feel like while they are talking, you are in the phone, wasting time. And you are looking at the social medias, because that's a habit. Honestly saying, believe me or not, 3 days ago, one of the clients come for the commercial property, the property worth 2.5 million worth property. 3 people came in the training room and sitting there. One person, since he came and he left, he was looking at the phone. I don't even respect the guy at all. He may be one of the partner of the particular property, but I know him completely and talk to other people. When he goes, when he say bye, I only say bye like this. I don't go shake with hand, because he only looking at the phone. But I am saying we had to apply to others same behavior from us. We have a habit. Many people have a habit looking at the phone. Okay, change the ringtone. This is out of the topic. I'm telling you. Change the ringtone for your friends, families, or important people, immediate kids, wife, or very important people. Change the ringtone. It's a free. Everybody has like the smartphone and the expensive phone. Minimum phones are $1,500. Make use of it. Change your ringtone. Other phone calls are other ringtone are different. In that case, identify the callers is important in front of other people's. Okay, when you meet, I'm the point of starting the first meeting of the client. First meeting of the client, just have a notebook and put the note. If you are a person using the iPad, that doesn't matter. But phone note is less important to me. Okay, anyway, then write it down whatever they need it. Write it down. First meeting, write it down. And casual conversation is very important. Their living situation, the focus whatever they talk, and the first meeting, try to get the flexibility of the peoples when they have a time to see the properties, and what is the working hours, what category of the peoples are they. For example, I tell you one example. Believe you not, I sold a condo to one of the during my sales time. I sold a condo to one of the youngster. He wanted to look at the condos. I told him come to the breakfast area in downtown, and he came to the breakfast area in downtown. I go with the listing. I gave around the 20-30 listing. I didn't make an appointment. Around 15-20 listings, I think. He picked 3, and we booked the appointment. Luckily, we could the place, and he bought it right away. The meeting method is different. Meeting method is different for the people. Youngsters like to meet in the breakfast area downtown. Especially somebody want to buy a condo in downtown. Just meet there in downtown coffee place or breakfast place, and quick breakfast, and start the show. Just to walk in the area. You don't need to park the car one place and go there. You save time, and you meeting them in a different level. You go with a suit and meet them in a different level. Meeting is very important, guys. Understand one thing, very important thing. Understand, after doing all the marketing and everything, very first meeting. In your mind, I said 3 things in your mind: motivation, ability, and urgency. You write it down. What are the reasons they're going to buy near to school? They want to move out for the parents. They're going to get married and they want to buy it. Can be anything. Those are the important one. Plus other thing. You had to understand. You had to make them like you. Not only like, make them respect you. That's the closing techniques part 1. The closing techniques part 1 is starting the very first meeting. Very first meeting. Within very 5 minutes, you have to show your professionalism. Even though known people doesn't matter. Change your vocabularies and talk the different topic. Even though your son is a soccer player. At home, he is an innocent boy. Mom is telling him to drink the milk. But if he go to the soccer field, he is a real good player. You can see him in a different angle. Same thing. If somebody go to the stage, different voice. Same thing like that. Even though your relatives, go with the uniform and go with the official way and make them like you and respect you. That's the number 1 closing technique starting that first meeting, guys. Don't forget about that one. Never go with the regular vocabularies, casual, and be strong. Do exercise before you go. Prepare ready yourself. Don't answer the phone calls. Focus. That helps. Okay. After the first meeting, and get the information, whatever they like, why they want to buy is investors, moving peoples, whatever the needs. Based on their needs, what you have to do, you have to prepare for the first showing. When you prepare for the first showing, what you have to understand. You have to spend some time, not fast, and you pick few properties and wasting your time. Spend time with the computer. First, spend some time with the analyzing skill and learn yourself with the map. Where is the property located? Is there needs for them anything? Give yourself some time. I know some agents. They last minute they pull some listings and go with the clients, and 2 times, 3 times. After that one, make the client spoil. Make the client's motivation spoil if you don't have enough information to go there and deliver it, the information. For example, you think yourself and make yourself, does the property meet for their needs? Print the listings, print some listing, and stay in one area. If they want to buy the house in Durham, don't go Oshawa, Whitby, and Pickering in the same day. Stay in one area. Avoid overbooking. 4 houses is good to show one day. Don't go take more than 4, but not less than 4 either. But they had to value somebody's time. You can go 4 to 5. Not 4 is not a very strict number. Maximum 5, but never go more than 5. They forget the house. They started to look at become as a real buyer, become as a looker. Keep it in the side. But the direction side, okay, for example, when you go with them, you have to know where you're going to show the houses are. You have to know. It's not, don't rely on the GPS, because if you want to go to the GPS, they don't need you. You have to know, you have to indirectly, you have to gain your closing number, closing techniques number 2. You have to tell them, I know the area. For example, Oshawa, you go in there, Roseland and Salem, Roseland and Harmony. Doesn't intersect. Okay, okay. Anyway, you go in there, Harmony and Totten. You should know where you're going. If you are relying on the GPS, looking at the phone, GPS drive you, how can you explain the area is good, area is bad? Get to know the area first before you take the clients. That's yourself. If not, at least look at the map. Don't put it, keep the GPS as a helper if you don't find the place, but don't rely on that one. In that case, only you gain the knowledge from the clients. You say, I know this area very well. There is a place for the metro house there. There is a place this builder is built. You know, in that case, you gained your knowledge. The pre-showing is important. Pre-showing, sometimes we call pre-showing. If the client, if you already see the property, you're a full-time agent. The client's only going to see the properties in the evenings. What is your job in the morning? Just to sit in the office and talk to somebody on the phone? No, you go and look at the properties. Go and look at the properties pre-inspection. You find the property is good condition. Same day you can sell it to somebody else. Okay, pre-showing is very important. And prioritize. If you have 5 houses, do the priorities. Which one is good? Which one is bad? Go to the first one first. Good one first always. Always good one first. You can argue. Some agents argue, go to the bad one first and get fed up and show the good one they buy. I totally against that one. Go to the first one, good one first, and try to. One day you're going to show 5 houses, the best one first. From there, go to other houses. Okay. And after you find the clients, but important part in the today's standard, I'm talking about the today's standard, the educate the buyer participate in the sales. For example, today, until 2 months ago, every house you show 30 offers, 40 offers. If it is 40 offers, what is the chance that you're going to get the house? Only 2.5%. If it is 10 offers, your chance only going to be 10% to get the offer. Once you make an offer, doesn't mean you're going to get the offer. In that case, educate your buyers to pre-qualify the mortgages. Pre-qualifying the mortgages, take the buyer to mortgage approval, mortgage brokers, and at least minimum pull the credit and see the credit is good or bad, and where are they standing. At least get a verbal approval. No mortgage broker going to give you the full approval. The verbal approval for the mortgage broker. The credit looks good and can be workable, those kind of condition. In that case, you have some confidence. When you go there, don't go yourself. Take the buyer, participate in the education process. Sit down the buyer in front of the mortgage brokers, and try to get some ideas. Let the buyer participate in the process for sure. Nowadays, the buyer is an educated buyer having a laptop computer access person, realtor.ca. And so many other websites is giving us information. The buyers are well educated now, and buyers are enough informed buyers is the other word. The buyers are well informed to the market today's standard. In that case, you can even show them how to look at the houses in their own. In that case, that's help you out. In a way, it's help you out, and in the way other way around too. They will ask you to see more houses. But at the same time, let the buyer participate reasonably, and that's a way of education. And when you want to start for the showing, in my site, at least book the properties, narrow down the area. I mentioned that one, and book the properties. Get the listing in your hand, and arrange the listing, the best one first, and make the appointment at least 5 to 6 hours in advance. You're going for the evening showing, you are booking the appointment only half an hour in advance, you may not going to get all the listing. And you go to call the office and say, my listing is not confirmed. The broker way is very easy, very fast confirmation. You will get it, but at the same time, give yourself some time, at least 3-4 hours time, because you're going to be the street and running the gas and with the buyers and everything. If you book it in advance, 100% you could make sure you have an appointment to go or not. You lose that. So really Sunday appointments, guys. Sunday appointment. Most of the open Sunday at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. If you call at 8:30 and book the appointment, you get up early an appointment, where is going to be answering service? You don't get the appointments. Don't blame the office after that one. Our office always open. Since I started, our office always open at 9 o'clock. Since I started, there is no holidays. Even the holidays, other than the Christmas, New Year, our office open at 9 o'clock and giving the appointments. But still, some agents, they complain. Answering service not calling me and this and that. Come on, man. You organize yourself. Make the appointment during the office hours. Rather than office early morning 8 o'clock, no office open. Our office open at 9 o'clock. Other office open at 10 o'clock. Make the appointment, Sunday appointments in advance. Especially Sunday appointments. Don't book it at 9 o'clock. Some kind of community and some age group peoples not wake up like our realtor like 6 o'clock in the morning. They sleep maybe 10 o'clock. In that case, Sunday appointments, make it at 10 o'clock and after. Don't make it at 9 o'clock. And if you are showing the condos, the preparing for the showing, and if you are going for the condos, trim the listing. And for example, you are going for the 50 towns under court, 100 towns under court, 150, 25 borough court, and all are the same areas. Take it for the building. Keep separate for the buildings. Then easier for you. After you separate the buildings, get the listing, not a price order. For the highest to lower. In that case, when you have highest to lower, you go to the top floor and elevator goes down. You can make sure you can go down, or else you can use the steps and go. Organize yourself how to show the properties for the condos and the houses. And you are ready for the showing now. Pick up the clients. Where are you going to pick up the clients? It's easy to pick up the clients. Tell them to come to the office parking lot. Then you can come back and drop them in the office parking lot, and you go and do your work in the office. If not, you're going to pick up the clients in their house. Yes, it's good to go there and pick up the clients in your house. Even today's standard or any standard, if you are picking up the clients in the house, maybe second-time buyer, luxury buyer, or doesn't matter. If you pick up the clients in the house, if they invite, come inside and have a coffee or anything, never do that one. Before you going 5 minutes, tell them I'm on the way to pick you up, and go there, stand outside. Be an official person. When you are taking the clients, in the vehicle, what kind of vehicle is an issue? What vehicle you have right now, that's fine, you can use it. But you need to be, whatever the vehicle you are driving has to be clean. If you are a smoker, don't smoke in the vehicle. And what you had to keep in the vehicle, water bottles. You had to have a half-size water bottle. Always be happy. Never, when you are showing the people for the showing, never ever stop for coffee or anything. That's going to demotivate the people, and they will expect more every day. Coffee shop. Sometimes the worst part, since the pandemic started, I really hate to go to the Tim Hortons because waiting time is 20 minutes. Our valuable 20 minutes time for just one cup of coffee. We can't afford to do that one in our stage. I mean it, guys, because of the shortage of labor. Everybody getting the syrup and everything. The regular restaurant people are having hard time for the regular labors, and the waiting time is extremely busy. In that case, don't take your clients to the coffee shop. One day you take the coffee shop, another day they expect and they want to go to the coffee shop. Unnecessary our time waste. As a realtor, if you are a reasonable good realtor, you have to put yourself $300 an hour, $250 an hour minimum. In that case, you can't waste for the coffee for 20 minutes. Keep the water bottle, because water is very important for the water. Water is important for everybody. If you want to have in the trunk, if your trunk, keep the electric cooler in the car. In that case, even summertime, you don't need to worry. Just only $100 you can buy the electric cooler and plug it in the charger. That you can get the cold water anytime. And when you book the listing, you have to learn as a new agent. You have to learn to book the listing. I always book 3 listings for 1 hour. Don't overbooking for the short period of time, as well as depends on the location, depends on how many people are coming in, age group of the peoples, and everything. Look at how many hours you're going to give, who can stay longer, and based on that one. When you are driving the clients in the car, take it in your vehicle. That's the time you can educate them. in a different way, gain your knowledge, that closing number 3, third technique, closing techniques, to take them in your car. But if they have a car seat and the baby is coming and everything, nothing much you can do. You can tell them to come in front of the house. But during the pandemic, many agents asked them to come to their cars because client doesn't want to come to your car either. But there are exceptions are there, but better to go with the one car. And when you go for a showing, don't over-educate the people. Agents break the deals, not the clients break the deals. Agents talk unnecessary and break the deals. Okay, when you go there, selling is guys, very simple. Believe me or not, I'm not showing off. I sold one house a week since I started until I start my office many years. I work with the buyers mostly. Every week I sell one house. If I miss one house, the next week I sell 2 or 3 houses. Selling is easy, but you had to learn the technique. You had to turn the technique, what to talk, more than what to talk, what not to talk to them. Okay. When you go for a showing, where are you going to park the car? Never ever park the car in the driveway, somebody's driveway. Park the car on the street. If the street parking is not allowed or busy or different timing, okay, you can go to the driveway. Otherwise, avoid driveway. You get down first and take them as a tour inside. When you go there, tell certain good things, but don't tell over telling the things. For example, I always pick the same example: crosswalk and the walkway. If the house comes with a walkway and no walkway, yes, no walkway. For example, one house you going there, no walkway. You are talking too much, over-educating. Oh, there's no walkway. In that case, you can park more cars, and time you don't need to shovel the snow. The house looks bigger, even though not your land is a government land. The house looks bigger. Do you think you want to talk all these ones? No, that's reduced. Only 70% of the houses or 70% of the houses come with a walkway. Less than 25% of the houses have no walkway. In that case, you are eliminating your search. The next house, they will say the walkway is there. I don't want a walkway. I don't want to get up and shovel this, then you lose. And if you say it's a government land, even though it's a government land, it looks like it's a big, they will ask you which one is government land, which one is my land next time. What I am saying, never talk unnecessary. You have to learn but not to talk. If somebody going in the house, they don't care about the basement, for example, then why you want to look for the basement finished houses? They don't care about the basement. You know what I mean? You have to be a salesperson to learn those ones. Those last one. Okay, for example, every time you show the clients, when they get down from the vehicle, you have to ask the clients. How do you feel about the houses? Every time you have to ask for the feedback. Otherwise, they don't talk, you don't talk. But the major part, I have more to talk, but anybody have a question, you can ask me. Another 10 minutes, I talk about the work with the buyer and before go to the other questions. Okay, after the finish showing, when they get down, make another appointment and go. Don't tell them I called you and you call me. No, that's losers. You have to tell them when are you going to the next showing. Okay, look at your calendar and book it showing. Okay, if you book it showing, their commitments, they cancel it, not yours. In that case, make the showing for the next showing after the showing. While you are showing the properties, what you have to do when you go inside, you have to park the car on the side and show something extra, whatever is in the house. For example, crown moldings, comfort ceilings, circular staircase, nice new spotlights, different things. If you see it, just tell them. Whatever is new they don't look at sometime. Some people doesn't care. If they don't care, you don't need to worry about too much for the next house. You can go over the house without any much upgrades. And if you want to go with the upgraded house, just show them what is there. Everybody's eyes is the eye view. Kids' eye view are different level. Adults' eye view are different level. Not everybody look it up and watch. That depends on the quality of the person. And never let anybody touch the fridge stove. Others, when you are showing the properties, if somebody go and open the fridge, that's a low quality level. But don't let them touch the fridge. And you go there and on the lights and open the windows and everything, and let them see the house first. And the backyard, of course, let them open the screen door and see the backyard if the backyard is good. If the basement is a finished basement, If you see the house, you are taking them finished basement. Definitely the basement is newer than the house. Definitely the basement is much nicer than, much convenient, much looking better than the house. Two ways, either income potential, they can think they can make money, or else is a nice aquarium and a nice, what do you call, home theater. They can fall into that one. Upstairs house, what are you going to see? 3 bedroom and 4 bedroom and 2 washrooms. Yes, you can see certain things in the upgraded hardwood flooring and everything, but the basement is going to be unique. If the house finished basement house, just to go to the basement first and show something, especially the hot tub, sauna, swimming pool, interlocking, landscaping, and everything. Basically, fireplace. How many side fireplaces are there? And just to give them basic, not to over-educate. And I want to cover the closing techniques, guys. I know getting late now a little bit. I want to go for the closing techniques. The closing techniques with the buyer is very important. It's today's standard. Today's standard. Again, the market is changing it. Market is changing it. It's very easy to give them what are the prices sold for 2 months ago. What is the price right now? That's the best way you can convince your buyers to sell right now. And again, closing techniques for the buyers. As I told you 2-3 techniques. Very first time you meet with the uniform and meet with your vocabularies. Keep the vocabularies very professional vocabularies and the very first meeting. And I show you the vehicle side. Keep your vehicle clean and show them who you are and how you respect your vehicle and treating them nicely and everything. And I always tell them, for the new agent, when you go and pick up the clients, even though you go to the expensive vehicle, don't sit in the vehicle. Just get down from the vehicle. He shake hands and wish them good luck. Oh, let's go. We start the process of showing the properties. You're going to get a very nice investment property or very nice house. Get down and shaking the hands and let them get in the car. 30-second job. That's to gain respect. Give respect and get respect from them. Okay. Other closing techniques while you are driving the vehicles, people's in the car, gain respect, not to push them. Different way, what their taste are. Who is the one talking and who is the one not talking? Find out the person who is the weak and find out the person who is the one not talking too much and the decision maker. Those are important to close the techniques. Okay, important people are there. One time you are making the offer, husband signing. Second time husband signing. Third offer, give the wife. You sign this one. It's a good luck. See, we will get this house. Definitely she will push it and get the house another $10,000 more. There are little techniques in real estate. I use this one. This works, guys. Okay, under the closing techniques, gain your respect with the attitude, with the less talks, good vocabularies, well behaved, and make the buyer trust you and like you. That's very important. And if the buyer like 2 houses, if the buyer debating this house is good, the other house is good, you cannot debate like a buyer. You have to stand for the buyer and pick only one house. But at the same time, don't discourage the second house. In case you don't get this house, you have to buy another house. You have to stand for them. They are expecting somebody to stand for them. They ask you, they know what exactly they need, but still they ask the opinion of the other person to get comfort, their comfort level. The next one, when they start to sign for the paperwork, definitely get for the today I said I can talk about the buyer agency agreement and customer service agreement. Sorry guys, I'll do that one next class. Next class I will go for the agency agreement, buyer agency agreement, customer service agreement, listing agreement, and arbitration process, and a few other things I'll discuss the next class next Saturday. Buyer closing techniques. I can come with other few other buyer closing techniques next class too. And the next class is going to be, today I can't able to finish it for the buyer agency agreement, buyer registry system, why you want to register the buyer in the system. That's going to be next class. And what is the difference between the customer service agreement and the buyer agency agreement? Under the new regulations, the budget, they are still waiting to pass it through. They are planning to cancel, Ontario government plan to cancel the customer service agreement. Still we have the customer service agreement in effect. We can talk about those one agency agreements, and I'll continue whatever I was missing for the buyer side. All right, and I have a few questions. If there's a question come in the chat box, If the Canadian has a foreign income, in the Canadian currency, has to put more down payment for the mortgages. If the Canadian has a foreign income, this is from Morgan. It's a very good question, Morgan. Very good question. If the Canadian have a foreign income in Canadian currency, mostly the foreign income comes to the different currency. If the Canadian currency, okay, the difference.
Actually, income is in Indian currency.
Go ahead.
Income is from foreign country. Foreign currency is in Indian
okay.
currency. Yeah.
Okay. If the person work in a different country, look like your question is a Canadian citizen. They will look for the previous year's tax return. Even for example, when you come to this question, I can expand a little bit more. There are people work in the Canadian soil. There are people work in the foreign soil, and there are people work in the international place. That's been international airspace pilots, international place, and the seamen, international area. The tax system is different, but at the same time, gross income going to be, tax rate may be different. The gross income going to be there. Okay, as a Canadian resident, I talk about the Canadian resident. For Canadian resident, if they have any ties with the Canada, for example, any driver's license, bank card, or anything, even in your case is making the Canadian currency, they report the income in the Canadian dollars in the Canadian government. Even though they go for there and work in the US, if they are less than 2 years, if they have a tie with Canada, they have to file a tax in US, as well as they have to find a foreign Canadian tax reporting the US income and claiming the foreign tax credit as a tax credit. In this case, the mortgage paper they're going to look for, as for my knowledge, maybe I can ask Kanna to explain for the next meeting. He just stepped out. Next meeting for the different currency, different income level. As per my standard, they look for the Canada. Even though they make money in a different country as a Canadian citizen, if they are declaring the Canadian tax income as a foreign income, yes, of course they qualify for the mortgage with the foreign income. Even I know this one for the sponsoring side, rather than mortgage side, just sponsor side. If you are declaring the income in Canada for the foreign income person, declare the tax in Canada and showing the foreign tax credit. Yes, they can sponsor the spouse or anybody else. Mohan, in my opinion, if they declare the Canadian tax system, they declare the money in Canadian government, I don't think it's an issue, mortgage down payment side. But the credit is important. Yes.
Actually, I talked to an RBC, and they said if the income is in foreign currency, they had to put 35% in down payment.
In that case, they're treating as a foreign buyer. They are looking for, even the Canadian citizen, they are looking as a non-resident category. If the non-resident category, if the person not live in Canada 2 years, non-resident category, they may ask you 35%.
Okay.
Mohan, I can answer you only based on my knowledge. For example, Canadian citizen doesn't mean they are qualifying automatically. Residency is different than citizenship. Residency is important. Residency status, if 2 years they are not in Canada and they're making other country money. I know that they recently conducted one of the mortgage for one of the guy making China. He came and did the mortgage. He showed the Chinese income and they did that mortgages. Okay, as for my knowledge, the residency is RBC maybe asked for the residency status. The residency status is missing. Still, they may ask you for the 35% because the person making the different country. That case, the person is not going to occupy the property in Canada. They may going to give it to the father, mother, or relatives. That might be a reason they asking for the they asking for the higher down payment. That's possible. As long as if they declare the taxation, they declare the income in the Canadian tax. I think you can work around with this one.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Okay, guys, and I have two other questions to discuss. I'm going to do only one thing. We get the violation from the whoever listening now. Please understand. We get a violation from one of the listing. The salesperson listed Lane fees condos. Lane fees condos are very common right now. They are standing between the freehold and the condos, but officially the land registry showing as a condo. The lane fees condo listed as a freehold, and the property sold in March, and they're sending the violation now. The office and the agents going to pay the money for the violation now. If we have a lane fees condo from now and onwards, I will ask you to sign. Any violations come, agent is responsible before we list the property under the freehold. We will discuss further about this one next class too. Now it's 11 o'clock. Thank you guys. Enjoy the nice sunny weather, and go for more showing and make money. Good luck. Thank you. Bye.